Hello, welcome. Dean here again from groundbreakcreative.com. Today I want to talk to you about the biggest mistake that we make as bass players when playing live. This is probably not what you think it's going to be about. You think it's going to be about the stuff that we do here. It's really not. It's all about the stuff that we do here. This is something that I see all the time. It's certainly where I started out, and the number one thing that helped me to overcome this was simply to be called out on it. For someone to say, hey dude, this is what this looks like, so stay tuned, because this is one of those things that maybe your friends aren't ready to tell you, but that you need to hear, and it's really going to help you out, and it's just going to change absolutely the way that you come across as you play live. So what I'm talking about is, again, it's not all this skill stuff. It's the difference between this and this. Okay, two completely different personas. I'm speaking to bass players today, but this is really across the instruments. I find we don't have so much trouble with this with electric guitarists. I don't know why that is. I think it comes down to a confidence thing. There's a little bit of nerves. And the reason I specifically want to talk to our bass players today is because being a bass player, sometimes you feel like you're just kind of this background instrument that you kind of you sit in the background and you just do your thing, and that's all that really matters, is because nobody's really looking at me anyway. I'm just chilling out in the background, just doing my thing. And there's almost this culture that says that that's what it is, that bass players just do the bass thing. If they nod their head at the same time, then it's all good. But you're no different from anybody else on the stage. Imagine if the lead singer was doing this all the time. I'm not going to sing. I can't really sing real good. But, if they were down here, never look at the audience, we look over here, look up. Imagine if I was doing this video going, oh yeah, so today I thought I would talk to you about just some stuff. That would be real awkward, right? And it's really no different. We don't have conversations with people looking at the ground going, oh yeah, how's your week been, man? Good, yeah, no, my week's not been bad. It's just awkward, and it's no different when you're on stage. And it's the same for drummers. Drummers tend to not have so much issue with this either. Again, can be a little bit more showy, a lot of them, and generally I think it comes down to a confidence thing. The best way to be confident is don't allow yourself to be nervous, which sounds like a stupid thing to say, because nerves sounds like something that you can't control. But here's the thing that I heard actually Pastor Wayne Huidua say. He's really big in the music movement across church, praise and worship stuff. And he was the one that called me out on this to start with when I first came to church and I started playing bass. He sat down and observed, our team during a practice time. This wasn't during a service, basically to see what we looked like on the stage. And he came up to me afterwards and he said, that the message that you send across when you're up there is that if I look at you, you're going to come and smash me. And I was like, hey? And he's like, yeah, you just look real angry, like all the time. Like every time you look at me, you're just like real angry face. And it's something that you don't really think about, but that you need to think about, right? And that made me really think about it. The other thing I heard him say about nerves is, being nervous, it's almost like a little bit of false humility, which sounds real harsh, but what happens is the minute that you walk onto stage letting it show that you're nervous, all of a sudden everybody's attention is right on you. Okay? Because they can see that you're nervous, because you're letting it show, and all of a sudden all they're doing is feeling sorry for you. So there's no connection with anything else, because that now has taken their focus. So while you're thinking that you don't think very much of yourself, that you don't feel like you're adequate, and that's making you nervous, letting those nerves show is now having the opposite effect, that while you're trying to sit in the background, all the focus is actually on you, and you're taking away from everything else. So that's a great responsibility, just to make yourself not let that show, which sounds hard, but try it. Just every time you step on stage, and hey, if you're in a church band, pray before you get up. Just say, God, I'm not here for me, I'm here for you, I'm here for your people. Help me not to appear nervous. Okay? And what you'll do over time, 1, you'll learn to overcome nerves. 2, you'll become more confident. There's a little saying that says, fake it till you make it. The more that you act confident, even if you're not feeling it, the more that you're going to allow yourself to feel confident. And that's going to change not only what you do on the stage, but what you do off the stage, what it does in your everyday life. All of a sudden you're going to be more confident just talking to people, walking up to strangers and talking to them, because all of a sudden you've got more confidence in yourself. Okay, and keep reading your word and stuff. Look up things, even do searches like on apps and that. What does the word say about me? What does God say about me? And just start dwelling on those things rather than dwelling on what might be your experiences in life up to this point. I know for a lot of people, if you've been put down a lot, especially creative people, like if people, when you were learning, everyone was telling you to shut up all the time or whatever, and then that can start to affect the way you view yourself. We need to flip that around so we can become more effective. And what we need to focus on, next time you get on the stage, forget about this, looking at all this. I was taught when I was learning to play bass to play with my eyes closed, so that you can get a feel for where things are on your neck. Okay, so sometimes I still got to look at the neck. So if I'm going to run up an octave, sure, I'll take a look, make sure that I'm going to the right place, right? Especially when I'm coming back again. But those are quick looks. And then the rest of the time, I'm out here, because out here is what I'm there for, right? We're always communicating something from the stage. We're either communicating, hey, I'm here for you, welcome, come and join us, or I'm communicating, I'm just in my own little world, don't look at me, a little bit nervous, just look over there, please. Alright, so everything we do communicates something, and what's going to be the best for the environment. And this might be, I've spoken a bit about playing in church, that's where I normally play. This might be in a pub band, and this comes down to the whole love your audience thing. If I'm what you'll see a lot in pub bands is guys that just never look at the crowd. Like they'll look at their amp. They'll be looking at their amp going, drummer, amp, ground, ceiling. But again, I'm communicating, hey, don't look at me. Look at that guy. That showy dude over there. Look at him do a backflip or something. Yeah. So this was just something that today I just felt was on my heart that I needed to share, that I hope is going to help to empower you to just recognize it. Sometimes the best thing we can do is just recognize a situation and just go, wow, actually I do need to work on that. That's actually something that I need to think of, because what I think of first, all the stuff I've got to play, this gets harder and harder to do. The more complicated the song becomes, the more stuff I have to think about here and make sure I'm hitting the right notes in the right place. The harder it becomes to think about, but I've still got to smile, I've still got to interact with the audience, I've still got to be connected out here, rather than just be in my own little world. So yeah, I hope this has been helpful. Feel encouraged, because like I say, I used to be in the exact same space until this was pointed out to me. That at the time was kind of like, oh really? That's what I do? Oh that sucks. But then when you're able to process that and just realize, hey, I actually need to think about this, I need to work on this, I need to work through this, then you're able to come out the other side actually being a lot better for it, and it'll get recognized. People will go, oh, actually you got your head up now, man. You're building that confidence. My other advice would be to other team members, if there's somebody in your team that you recognise feels like that they maybe lack a bit of confidence, just encourage. It's one of those things that we forget to do all the time, that we're just like, you'll do a gig, you'll do a Sunday, you'll come off and you'll just be like, oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, all good. Yeah, next Sunday you'll be, yeah, that's all good. And sometimes, this is something I've talked about in our team, sometimes you'll think, like you'll be halfway through a service and you'll think, oh man, hey, that bass player totally nailed that run. That's awesome. But you don't tell him that. And then what he's focusing on is the run that he missed in the other song. So he comes out of the service going, oh man, I totally stuffed that up. And all it would take for you to come up and be like, bro, that song, that run, man, you nailed that. And you'll totally change his day, and you'll start changing his perception up here. And I'm saying bass players, but across all the instruments, keyboard, drums, all of that, always just encourage. It's better to over-encourage than to say nothing. Cool, so I hope this has helped. Please click subscribe, and we will see you next time.